It's now time for the Select Board update for the meeting that happened on Wednesday, August 7th. As a Select Board, we had executive session first to hear some updates from our Labor Council and also to approve a contract with one of our unions. We then went into open session and we had a legal update from Lisa Mead, the head lawyer from the company that we use for our legal issues. So we thanked Lisa for that. From there, we went into some citizens' participation for the building and development that is being proposed for the fusion site on Route 126. We had a number of citizens, residents of that part of 126 who wanted to speak with us, and we felt it was appropriate to invite them to come on camera and speak to us at a select board meeting. From there, we went into updates on our town manager and select board priorities. Our first update was on the rail transit district. So there has been UGC has been speaking to us about doing a development. We've gotten another revised plan. It's still 180 units, and they are currently considering going for a friendly 40B, which would mean they would not have to get a zoning change for that lot. So we are following that and still having discussions with those developers. Also up at the Rail Transit District, if you've gone up the MBTA access road, you might have seen some cutting in the woods on the right-hand side past Dunkin' Donuts. The Metro West YMCA has cleared a path so you can go and have an idea of where their facility will be as they move that project forward here in Ashland. From there, we had a brief update on the public safety building. The Public Safety Building Committee has been working with the architects and the designers to determine the size of the building. And as we move forward and get more information about how we will be funding the building, that will be coming forward in public forums as well. From there, we went into our downtown improvements, and we'll go into a little bit more detail about the water mains later in the show. We had the word that as at the end of August, beginning of September, the bridges should be delivered for the Riverwalk. There is currently work going on by our Public Works Department, putting some of the preliminary gravel and some of the clearing work that needs to be done before the bridges come in. So if you are there downtown or over at the Pond Street, you can see, not Pond Street, over at the pond by the Historic House, you may see some work going on by our Public Works Department. We then touched briefly on the townwide strategic plan. They are looking at some of the housing information, so at some point, probably later this fall, there will be information out about the finalized plan, or at least the plan that's being proposed. From there, we went to and discussed the Warren District. The barn that has the big X on it will be demolished at some point. We are working with the architects who are going to be helping us recreate the barn. They're going in and taking some measurements and some pictures, and we are trying to finalize and coordinate timing with the Warren Conference Center so that it doesn't interfere too much with some of the weddings and events that they have going on there. From there, we then approved our consent agenda. If you'd like to see what that is, you can go to the agenda on the website. It was also shown on the full screen of when we were doing the meeting. And again, if you'd ever like more detail on any of these items, you can watch the full discussion on the select board meeting. From there, we discussed our Eversource status of declaratory judgment proceeding. It has not been filed. Our lawyers are in the process, our legal team is in the process of creating that information and being able to submit it. There has been a discussion about possibly for the Eversource before the siting board. We are trying to get some more information allowed in for the siting board to consider. We then discussed the status of the Development Liaison Group. This is a group that was created earlier this year. The idea is that it's 2 select board members plus either planning and or conservation or affordable housing. As developers come in and start talking to our economic development director and want to start feeling out what it might be like to work here in Ashland, we'd bring this liaison group together. So we're not sure when the next meeting will be, but it will be as the next developer comes in. We then had a quick update, our mission vision statement revision. We are going to be looking at the goals that we currently have and probably in a fall meeting discussing some of those goals, revising some of them, and anything that's been completed will come off our current plan. We then opened the warrant for the special town meeting. The special town meeting will be happening on Wednesday, November 20th at the Ashland High School. As more information comes forward as to what the articles will be, we will be letting you know that. We then got an update on the National Citizen Survey. We did a survey 3 years ago. We had a very good response. That survey will be going out again. It'll be a random selection, and if you are selected, you will get a postcard in the mail with the link as to where you can go to do the survey. If you get the postcard and you don't have a computer at home, or if you're not sure how to do it, you can reach out to Jen Ball, our assistant town manager, and she or someone within her group will help you do the survey. Once the selected group has been able to do the survey will then also be opened for people who want to just do it. They keep the data separate, so people who have been randomly selected, their data goes into one section, and then people who decide to opt in themselves, that data gets separated. So it's really a good mix of the people and the residents of Ashland. We then had an update on our current water level. We are currently at 297 feet at the reservoir. To go into stage 1, it would have to be at 295. Based on the rain that we've had recently, we don't expect to be going down those 2 inches anytime soon, and we'll get another update at our first meeting in September. We then had an update on the MWRA connection. That is still in committee at the State House. We need final approval from the committee to be able to do the final, but we are moving forward because we are expecting that to happen. We then had a last discussion on the Valentine property. There was a great forum held about a month ago. If you didn't get the opportunity to go and you'd like to watch it, you can find it on WACA-TV or on our YouTube channel. Dave Foster did a great presentation on some possibilities, and now we are moving forward looking at what those possibilities may be, putting out an RFP to people who may want to come in and help us with the Valentine property, and then also reaching out and creating a committee to review those RFPs once they come back in. And that was the meeting for August 7th. The next select board meeting will not be until the first Wednesday in September. We do not have a second meeting in August. A lot of our members are either on vacation or just taking the time. I'm sure you'll see some of us up and around at different things. So that wraps up the select board meeting for August 7th.